I bought this bench grinder many years ago, and finally I'm taking it out. I'm going to assemble the little guards and things like this, but also I'm going to rewire the light so that the light would be always available, because right now the light turns on only when the grinder turns on, so I'm going to rewire it. So flip it, take the screws out, then there's another screw here for the capacitor, move it out of the way. Then we're going to cut the ties and spread out the wires so we can see which wires goes where. And we're looking for these two wires going to the light. Right now they must be connected to the switch output, and we're going to connect them directly to the main. Great, so I opened up the wires. Those are the two wires that are going to the lamp. Those are the wires coming from the main. So we're going to need to cut those two. So we cut this, cut that, and then we're going to attach them to those ones. Here we go, so I cut the two wires. I cut them really deep inside the little connectors, and then I'm going to wrap a little bit of electrical tape around it just for good measure. And then I'm going to put this aside. I don't need those anymore. And then I'm going to cut those open and splice those two wires onto those two. For the tools that I'm using, this is a Japanese color. Those are very nice, very precise. I really like them. And those are strippers, very good. Very good tools. Okay, so this is the one that's going to the light, and I took off a little bit. We're going to use this type of connector, which makes this kind of connection. And there's a heat shrink and glue in it. Those are nice connectors, I like them. And I use a crimping tool and a heat gun for them. So now I'm going to cut the main line that I disconnected from the switch. I'm going to cut it at the same height, and then I'm going to join them together on one end and then put it there. So I crimped one line with the light. I had to use a blue size, that's the only one I could use, and now I'm going to crimp the other side of it, and then I'm going to heat shrink it. Yeah, that's a very nice crimping. Good job. It takes a little while to understand how to position the crimping tool, so don't try it first on live wires, because as you can see there's very little room for error. So if you make a mistake, then you're in deep trouble. So try it out on scrap pieces first until you master the technique. So the key with heat shrink is to go slow and gradual. You know, it takes a minute or two, and not too hard. And I orient it away, of course, so I don't burn anything else. So yeah, one of them is done, and I'm gonna start the other side. But I'm very happy about the result. This is great. I'm gonna put it back together, and I think I did some good work here. I'm happy. Here we go. So now we can control the light independently from the grinder. Yeah, mission accomplished.